paints and politics. We up here.
All right, welcome back. Episode 94.
We think.
Yeah, 1994.
This is
April
the,
26, 1990. No,
yeah,
that's 92. My bad.
Man, 94, junior year of high school.
Yes.
You know,
Well,
you were probably what, 6th grade?
eighth grade.
I'm 49, so I'm going to be 50 this year. So,
Yeah.
and
It's coming up.
I got my party shirt on.
Yeah.
Flamencos. Right? Yeah.
When
yeah.
is your birthday?
November? It's always in Thanksgiving, but we're taking a European trip to celebrate my 50th this year in the summer. So we leave
Very
next
nice.
week, right after on election day, actually. So, and folks, I know y'all have been loving all the text messages that you get bombarded with every day, just like
And the mailers?
you're getting them. Yeah, and the mailers. Whew, I'm ready for that season to be over.
Yes.
I know a lot of y'all are.
Well, is there a better way to get your message out? Like, that's the question. We need to set up a poll for that.
Yeah, right.
You're the average everyday voter. How do you get the information on your candidates?
Yeah, and you know that climate is where that environment's changing dramatically, right? With AI and all those things is like, you know, typically you'd go say if you're running for governor, you do go buy airtime with TV networks and stuff. Is that as effective anymore?
And
know?
you're not just going to say Comporium,
Right.
or Time Warner or Spectrum and putting it on there.
Yep.
Now you got to do all these streaming services too.
And this market up here in York County is a little bit different because we're in sort of the Charlotte,
Yeah,
and so I bet you that's more expensive,
a lot of wasted money there.
right? You know, so
Or
anyway,
are you getting it from radio,
yeah.
podcasts? Like,
Well, that's
how
the
do you
good
learn
thing.
about your candidates?
That's a good thing about what this show does for us is, folks, good or bad, there's plenty of material.
Yeah.
You know, I think we have had track record, not just of a voting record, but we also have plenty of hours of audio and video of us saying either very smart things sometimes, or sometimes it's pretty dumb stuff. But
you do slip up every once in a while.
hey, man, we're authentic, we're genuine. It is what it is. Sometimes it's not pretty, but you know, hopefully we're progressing, we're learning a lot. You know what I mean? So, but hey, before we get too far into this episode, thank you for Comer Distributing for again supporting the show. Tell them what we're drinking this week.
Carolina Blonde. Foothills Brewing
Yep.
out of Winston-Salem.
Yeah, pretty good beer, man.
Yeah, very light, decent beer.
Yep. Yeah, so if you like a Carolina Blonde, I mean, it's a lighter beer. It's got it's a good taste finish on the back end. So, yeah, pretty good beer. But again, thanks for Comer Distributing for supporting the show. Let's get into Week in Review, man. How's your week been? I mean, I know.
Oh.
So, folks, programming note, we were going to try to probably have in the off session, we're probably going to have 1 or 2 shows a month.
Yes.
Instead of doing weekly. There's a lot of stuff going on.
We have to work to pay our bills.
Right, we're actually getting back in the swing of things, back into the private sector. We're taking summer vacations, I'm sure. We've got some conferences upcoming this year that we'll tell folks about. But how was your week, man?
It was good. I have my physical coming up, so I started off by going down to play some golf with Representative Cox.
Yeah.
Down in Goose Creek, so I was able to play, have some fun. Didn't play well, but was able to do that. Then come back. I went to a conference in Myrtle Beach, so it was a tech conference.
Oh, yeah.
About cybersecurity, which ended up working out very well. It was Tuesday, Wednesday, and then partially Thursday.
Okay.
But I was able to meet with the head of government affairs for SNAP, which I actually knew from whenever I testified. I'd met him. So we had a hour-long conversation about what things that SNAP is doing, trying to increase childhood safety.
Okay.
So that was a good meeting, and then went to Carolina Country Music Fest
Oh, yeah.
Thursday night and Friday night. That was a blast. Have you been down there?
I have. I did it when Carrie Underwood was the headliner that one year, and it rained like crazy. I went that. Yeah, it's enjoyable, man. It's always a good time to go out there, and that's a great little venue. I mean, the ocean's right behind. It's a great backdrop.
Well, and it wasn't 200 degrees.
I'm about to say, and the weather this past
Yeah.
week, like, man, I'm walking in the woods for my day job, and I'm like, man, it'd be so much fun to be on a golf course. You know what I mean?
I was in
It
jeans and a
just
t-shirt.
Perfect weather.
So it was comfortable. And so Thursday night they had Riley Green, which I didn't know if that was a guy or a girl.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me. I was like,
That's
I
a
don't
guy,
know.
right?
Yeah. It is.
Okay.
So, and he's the one evidently all the girls go crazy over now.
Oh.
So He's
I can't
one of the
keep up.
mustache guys.
Oh,
you know.
gotcha.
So he sang, and then
We also had a local.
Matt Tucker Band was playing, along with Ron Dills. He was playing too.
Okay.
So I was able to see Matt Tucker Band play. I could not find the acoustic stage though. I still before
really?
I left in 2 days, I couldn't find it. The place is huge, by the way.
Yeah.
But ran into some old friends. Ran into some Rock Hill people as well. So it was fun. Friday night, I ended up hanging out with Representative Schuessler,
Okay.
who represents
Carl?
Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
Ran into Carl Anderson, Tim McGinnis.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of the reps that had traveled across.
Right.
And it was very nice. But the one thing that stood out, so Friday night was Luke Bryan.
Okay.
And there was a guy, I'm trying to think of his name. It's not Gary. I wanted to say Gary, but Luke Bryan takes a sip. Well, we play golf.
I saw this on Twitter, on social media. Did y'all see this? So Luke Bryan takes a swig of what looks
Tequila.
like moonshine. Okay, tequila. Casamigos, that's right.
Yeah.
And then hands it to a fan. And it's probably a third of the bottle, right?
Oh, he just took like a swig and then he passes it, and they normally pass it around during the show. But this guy turns the entire
The first guy
bottle up.
who looks like a moonshiner. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got the long beard and everything. Probably
And I
a
think
guy
he's from Winston-Salem, they said.
and just turns it up and downs the entire
Yeah.
third of the bottle.
And Luke Bryan stopped the show.
Yes.
And he's like, hold up. We needed this. Did you really just drink that entire bottle?
Yeah.
So then, like, social media that night and going into the next day, everybody's wondering, like, is this guy dead?
Yeah.
Is he okay? So
Like-
as soon as he shows back up, like, they wheeled him out in a wheelchair, like the security did.
Really?
From there.
Yeah.
I guess to get him checked. But he's getting money. I'm sure he's getting money, getting paid to get these IVs
Man.
from the people that set up the IV tents out there to,
Yeah.
like, rehydrate you. And
I mean, Luke Bryan's
it was
literally like,
hilarious.
he's like, man, you're about to be real drunk.
Yeah.
He's like, I mean, just give it about 15, 20 minutes. I mean, it was,
It was, yeah, I don't know how he did it, but they're selling T-shirts with his name on it now at the festival.
Really?
Like, the guy's become an overnight sensation just
That
from
was quick.
downing the whole
know,
bottle
man.
of tequila.
yeah, man. Yep. So,
You know, Mama says don't do stupid things, but
yeah.
stupid things create great memories.
yep, if you make it. But,
Yeah.
So you had a good time in the Grand Strand.
Had a blast. I actually got some color.
Yeah.
Finally.
We did mention that. You don't look as pasty white on the video monitor here, so that's good.
Yeah.
Welcome to summer, you know?
But a little tired, got the bags under the eyes.
Yeah.
Get some sleep tonight and back to work tomorrow.
Yeah, good deal. Yeah, man, I wasn't doing a lot of, I mean, I had some meetings in Columbia, did some stuff with First Steps, met with some hospitals, was down there. I had to do a little bit of work in the office for the conference report on the medical pricing transparency bill. Had to, do some tweaks, working with some senators who's in that conference committee with us. So we finalized all the language. Everyone's, thumbs up. So I got to go down tomorrow and sign that conference report.
Now, we all thought that we were coming back in this week
Yeah.
to begin with.
Yep.
And because the Senate comes back on Wednesday.
Yes, that's
Yep.
that's the schedule as of right now. And I don't know what the holdup is. It sounds like maybe there's some stalled conversations with
The budget.
the budget. And I got to check on the THC as well.
Yeah, I had
haven't-
someone ask me about that, but I haven't
Yeah.
seen it.
So trying to figure out, those conferees are trying to get what version they can, which will ultimately be the bill. And so I don't know what's going on with the budget right now. I'm hearing, and again, not everything on social media is the truth, folks. So you want to check your math, but I'm hearing that there was some indigestion about some provisos that supposedly were backfilling some cost overruns at Scout. Now, we did have this conversation amongst ourselves in the Republican caucus in the House, and I asked specifically, hey, I want to make sure that we're not
Funding Scout.
these cost overruns are are going to be bore out somewhere else. Like that Commerce messed up. We need to hold them accountable. And I was told there is no money there. What we were told was there was some money in there for the DOT project, part of the Scout, but not for Commerce. And it doesn't. I don't know if that's true or not, folks. We're trying to get to the bottom of that. There are some provisos that we're double checking that may. I think it's in regard to excess debt service funds being pulled out of Department of Natural Resources and some other places. Yeah. The issue is, and so those provisos are 47.22. The next one is 84.20 and
112.1.
Yep. And so I'm checking into those. The question is, how much excess funds are even available, right? So I haven't got to the bottom of that yet. We will communicate that to you. Obviously, we had cost overruns. And again, I'm not saying that someone failed to do their job or whatever it is. I'm not even going to get into that. The issue is, if we had a cost overrun of $150 million, where's the accountability?
Right.
You know what I mean?
And Commerce shouldn't be managing a project.
Correct. And so that's where, again, you have this question of, we've made commitments as a state, right, to get this site prepared and ready for a large employer to come in and I think fundamentally change the Blythewood area, right? That's a huge economic development project. But if you've got $150 million of cost overruns, even if they're justified, we should have been communicated with when they were, before we just said, yeah, go to work, keep doing it. You know what I mean? And since that didn't happen, we're past that. We also do need to fulfill, and keep our state credible, right? If Commerce or someone said, hey, we know we have cost overruns, keep going because we got to deliver these pads to Scout, okay, but there's no communication, right? And there's no accountability. So if we're going to backfill this to maintain our credit worthiness, all those things, there's going to be accountability. You can't, you know what I mean? I don't think you can, give the money in a budget and then not expect the director, I need your resignation letter. You know what I mean?
They're the ones ultimately responsible.
Or whoever that is. I'm not saying it's the director. Maybe it was someone underneath him, whatever. But we've got to flesh that out, in my opinion. So, Look
forward to that.
So we're not going to go back. That's the word?
Yeah, I mean, from what I'm being told, we're not. I mean, we haven't been told as of now, and we are at Sunday evening.
Yeah.
So, I would imagine they'd let us know before now.
Another week away from Columbia. Hey, man.
Yes.
It's not a...
Well, I still got to go down on Tuesday to work on some stuff, but...
Yep, so I'll run down there and do that. I also, I've already started getting like my top 10 list for next year. Working with committee staff right now, developed top 10 list. We've got non-competes. We passed that out of the House. It died in the Senate. So we've got to go back and get that, I believe. I think we've got to get, we passed parental rights. And again, it died in the Senate.
I thought they passed it.
No. And so they did the bathroom.
Okay.
But not parental rights. And so, and again, folks, there's two issues to that. There's an education component when it comes to parental rights, and then there's a medical. And I think we just need to be focused on the medical parental rights. If parents are going to be, legally and financially responsible for that child up to the age of 18, they need to be the primary voice and decision maker when it comes to medical decisions for their children.
I agree with that.
And so just keep it simple, right? So I think a medical parental rights is on the list. There's a lot of other things in regards to, obviously, folks, if you're not a first-time listener, you've listened to us for a while, PBM reform, that's a big one. There's also a federal program. It's a 340B program that I think we need to get addressed. That's a federal program that I believe has been manipulated, and a lot of folks, hospitals, and again, not all hospitals, but it is not just a South Carolina issue. I do think some hospitals are taking advantage of that to help their bottom lines, and I'm not okay with that.
No way.
I'm not okay with that as well. Also, there's a lot of scope of practice issues out there working with, our doctors, patient advocate groups, also hospitals, to try to bring everybody to a table and say, hey, what can we do to provide greater access for healthcare professionals? So looking into, how far can we push scope of practice issues without sacrificing quality and some of those things. So already we're in the off session technically, I guess, already trying to get, again, not counting the chickens before they're hatched. Hopefully in November we get reelected.
Yes.
But I'm, trying to plan for next year and what we can do as far as trying to bring meaningful change to healthcare. And like we always say, these are discussions. These are starting points. And you got it, like medical pricing transparency, literally 4 years.
Well, and somebody asked me earlier this week, they were asking about a local municipality changing zoning, and then they can't expand their business. And they were complaining about and they were asking, like, how long would it take for us to get a law passed? And I was like, well, even the laws that are kind of uncontentious,
Right.
you're looking at 2 to 4 years.
Right.
Those are the ones that you're not having lobbying money come at, or you're not having legislators that are adamantly against.
Yeah, right. And again, it's just one of those things where, because folks in the House, there's 124 of us.
Yep.
And you've got to educate the body of the issue. You always have fun because with tech, and folks, there's not a lot of 20-somethings in the South Carolina House.
No, you don't say.
And so
I think Luke Rankin might be the only one.
Yeah. And so listening to you or other members try to explain some tech to, someone who.
Well, and that's one of the things, like you were talking about your top 10, being with regulations and artificial intelligence. One of the things I'm trying to push for is an emerging tech committee, a standing committee, not to focus on a particular bill, but to focus on educating members of the body.
Yeah.
So
and
that
just
way
the
we
policy issue at large.
Yeah, the policy issue at large. I mean, I think one of the biggest problems that we have are the amount of money that we've lost in scams. We need to have the conversations with SLED, and we need to have the conversations to say, how can we help you and the AG's office?
Right.
How do we help you bring down some of these people, protect our citizens from getting scammed, and keep that money here in South Carolina?
Especially your aging population.
Yeah.
I know the AG, Alan Wilson right now has a department or a team that tries to handle some of that stuff, but it's only going to get bigger, right?
Right. I mean, scams are, imagine if, the physical world, and then all of a sudden all these stores start getting robbed. Well, law enforcement's going to increase and build a department around that to stop stores from getting robbed. But whenever it's in the digital world, they're like, well, we got jurisdictional problems. We got all of these issues that we have to wade through. And that is the fastest growing crime, but yet we can't figure out how to get our head around it.
I was just, again, in my construction job, I was just having a conversation with another business owner about this, where his system got hacked, I think it was last year. And
ransomware?
He just went into, I mean, man, you want to talk about, they got into his system, hacked it, and then was able to get in and find his bank accounts, started printing checks, the whole deal. And, I mean, you want to talk about the cost or time lost of, instead of doing the day-to-day of running your business, you've got to go in and,
Well, I was on the phone with an investigator.
Get all this stuff done. He was like, man, not just the value of his time, but also the money spent and having to go get companies to go basically unhack his system, make sure it's secure, and the whole thing. I was just like, that sounds like a headache.
Well, whenever I was on the phone with one of these investigators, I think at that time while I'm on the phone, they said they have 3 current ransomware attacks. So that could be a city, a municipality.
Right.
Gets hacked, and the people hold everything for ransom, and the federal government's saying, just pay the ransom.
What?
Because it's the quickest way to get it back. It's going to cost you so much more
Oh, right.
to not do that. And that becomes one of our big problems. I mean, you start thinking about City of Rock Hill gets hacked, and they're controlling power. They got all of the people's information. Like, and the guy, whenever I went to Berlin last year, the guy that, Chris Hadnagy, that author that was there, That's essentially what he gets paid to do. He gets paid to stress test nuclear stations and municipalities to see if he can hack in. And if he can hack in, then he gets paid like a bonus. So he was telling me about him dressing up as like a pest control technician and showing up at a nuclear power plant to say, no, we're here for a regular service. But he basically hacked into the pest control to find out when the site or times were to be there. And then spoofed a number to change the schedule and then showed up. And, because if he gets in, then he gets a bonus for whatever he does. But so they are allowed to see where they're vulnerable at.
Yeah, right. And wasn't it you and I and some other members of the York delegation went up to the Duke?
Yes.
Power generation. And, they talk about...
You get shot.
Yeah. They talk about doing physical stress tests where they'll get a team to act like they're they're attacking the power generation station, the plant. You're talking about a whole just different level of digital attacking.
Digital and physical. They do it from both ways.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, you might get paid $100,000 to stress test the nuclear site. He'll spend a couple of months planning it, hire people to work with him, and get in and see what he can do.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and that's going to be, and that can lead into our conversation when we talk about the governor's races. We've had Henry for 10 years now. Our Governor McMaster,
longest serving governor.
Yep. So we're going to have a new governor for the first time in like a decade. And so I'm interested to see, next week we'll see who the two who make the runoff. And I'm interested to hear what their positions are, what their plans are for our state, what their priorities are looking forward.
I mean, you would think this far into the race we would already know those priorities, right?
But a lot of times you get...
It's been a lot more rhetoric.
Yeah. I mean, you'll get the rhetoric of drain the swamp, this, that, and the other. But I do think hearing, from these two who do make the runoff, what's your priority? Is it healthcare? Is it child safety? Is it, affordability?
Economic development.
Right.
I mean, we're the fastest growing state, so how do you improve on that?
Yeah. So
next segment, let's get into that and the AG's race.
Yeah, that's right. This episode of Pints of Politics is brought to you by Comer Distributing. The Comer Distributing Company is a wholesale beer distributor located in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Founded in 1971, Comer is a family-owned business that distributes beer and other beverages to York, Chester, Fairfield, Lancaster, Kershaw, Lexington, and Richland counties.
All right. Welcome back. Primary coming up on Tuesday. We got early voting going on right now. Some numbers came out last week on Thursday. And for the early voting, we're right at 250,000 people. But the number of ballots being requested, 134,552 Democrat, and then 74,600 Republican.
Okay, so wow, almost 60,000 more Dems have early voted. And, typically Republicans wait for Election Day.
Yeah. So do the dead Dems. They wait for Election Day.
But in all seriousness, I mean, but that is a big number, right? I mean, there's a large disparity between 134,000 who have voted in the Democratic primaries, 75,000 in the Republicans. We'll see what that ends up, how it shakes out after Tuesday when the polls close at 7 o'clock.
Do we think that a primary vote pretty much seals it in a lot of these races?
Yeah. I mean, just because we're a Republican supermajority state, I would say for Republicans at least.
Yeah.
That primary day is Election Day for the most part.
And yet we have 5 million people?
Yeah. And 250,000 have early voted.
Are going to make the decision.
Well, and again, folks, Guffey and I have always said, we need more engagement. That's why we try to talk about issues that matter to voters while we're also giving State House updates. We also throw in our own little passion projects and things that we're interested in, what we're hearing from our voters. And this is the time, folks. This is the time to let your voice be heard. Whether you're a Democrat or whether you're a Republican, Tuesday is your last day to have your voice heard. So please, God Almighty, make a plan.
Even if you don't know, just Google.
Yeah.
Just get you a nice feel of who the candidates are.
Yep.
Show up, make your voice heard.
Do a little bit of research. I think there are, 15, 16 House candidates who have primaries.
Yes.
all across our state. Locally here, David Martin has a primary challenger in Elizabeth Enns, who you're very familiar with. And folks, these mailers and some of these attacks are just getting more absurd.
Yeah. I mean, there was one that came out against David Martin calling him a womanizer.
Right.
Because he has children with 2 different women.
Yes.
Which, while he was in college, his first daughter was born.
Correct.
And his other 2 daughters are with his current fiance.
Yeah, and so let's speak to that for a second. And I know Representative Martin has told this story, but, you know, when his first child was born, he was college age.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately.
Which is why he wanted to become an attorney.
Now looking at it.
Yeah.
You know, he just had a challenge early in his life, but I think he made the right call.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, there's not a lot of 19, 20-year-old, you know, guys who, if, you know, they were to unfortunately get a girlfriend pregnant, wouldn't stand up and say, I mean, I know I would, but David's experience proves it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, I don't know. I think that type of attack can really backfire on the folks who are...
I hope it does. It's just so disingenuous and, you know, and then the next argument that come out against David, and I talk about David because that's what we see most of in York County. Another one came out talking about his law firm represented a guy that was being charged for rape of an underage teen. And so evidently his partner within his firm or something had represented this guy in the case, and they're trying to equate that to David not wanting to protect children. And yet, you know, the same argument could be made with on the other side.
Right.
But it's just it's below the belt. It's trying to attack someone's character with just false accusations.
Yeah, and here's another thing too. You know, I get it. It's probably easy fodder for a campaign, but you know, as a candidate, you have choices on how you're going to run your race, and it's tried and true. We've seen this from the Enns campaign when they ran against you.
3rd time now.
And so, I don't know, folks. My expectation for that campaign isn't a high one anyway. So, you know, you knew they were going to go on the attack. You knew they were going to try to get personal. You knew they were going to try to mislead voters. And so we're seeing it, right? We're seeing it play out right here in York County. We're seeing it across the state in a lot of these races. And it's unfortunate. And here's another thing. It comes from all sides too, right?
Yeah.
And here's the unfortunate...
And third party, outside.
That's what I was going to say. That's the unfortunate thing is a lot of times there's these third party groups that get involved, whether they're aligned with a certain candidate or not. It's unfortunate, but when you are running a primary, especially a close primary race, and it's contested, when these third parties get in and do personal attacks like this, the person being attacked wants to accuse the opponent of doing it.
Yeah.
You know, because they're adjacent to that group. So I get it, but it is unfortunate. I wish we could.
Some of them aren't even adjacent. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, we got a phone call, or I got a phone call today from a rep that was like, "Hey, I need to stop these hit pieces." I was like, "Who's it coming from?"
Right.
Some group out of Florida. Never heard of them.
Yeah, me neither. And so again, it does happen on both sides. I have talked to, you know, Freedom Caucus folks and Republican Caucus folks, and they're both irritated
Yep.
at these, you know, these mailers, these attack things getting lobbed in from out of state, and it just puts us all in a precarious position, right?
Well, it's attacking people's core character values, and that's
yeah,
you know, the problem is we are the fastest growing state, so we got all these people moving here.
Mm-hmm.
How many people are just going to believe that garbage?
right. And here's another thing: why are we making it out to be that because you're an attorney, you're just inherently a bad person? What the hell is that? Like, how lazy is that? That is literally what the founding fathers. I mean, that is a core bedrock
It's
principle.
what 2/3 of our
That
founding
you have
fathers.
due process rights and a right to defend yourself in court. And now all of a sudden, David Martin's an asshole because he chose the legal profession. And it's like, wait,
Defending yourself against the government, might
Yeah.
I say.
now again, there's bad apples in every
Yes.
industry. You know what I mean? Whether it's running campaigns for a living, we saw R.J. May. What a dirtbag that guy was.
Yeah.
But not all people who run campaigns for a living are inherently bad people. Same thing with attorneys or healthcare professionals, doctors, whatever. there's always going to be assholes out there.
There's always people that will do whatever it takes to win. And
Yeah,
that,
right.
to me, whenever it's the same campaign doing this over and over, it's showing you the character of that person
Yeah.
that is running that campaign.
Yep. So,
RJ or not.
yeah.
It's the same attacks.
And so we've got Primary Tuesday coming up. I know a lot of folks will be happy to get past it, you know. But unfortunately for the governor's race, that looks like that is Senator Josh Kimbrell.
He dropped out and endorsed Alan Wilson.
Okay, he did endorse.
Yes.
Alan? Okay.
Well, from what I saw, now granted, I was at the beach, but I think
Yeah.
I seen it pop up that he had endorsed Alan.
Okay,
I apologize if that's not true, but
So you've got our Lieutenant Governor Pam Yvette got the Trump endorsement. That was big news. A little bit of a drag on that was when Donald Trump said that Henry McMaster Jr. was going to be her running mate,
yes.
and then so that dragged that endorsement, I think, for a few days, didn't you?
Well,
Oh,
I
did it?
mean, that became the problem. Everybody kept saying that if Junior is the lieutenant governor pick, then that would look bad for Pam because it would look like a quid pro quo.
Yeah, right. It was like, hey, I scratch your back, you
Right.
And
But unfortunately, Pam did not have to address that.
yeah,
Uh,
Junior came
Junior
out
came out and said, politics is not what I'm looking to get involved in right now.
yeah. So that's going to be an interesting. The governor's race is just on both sides, right? Republicans, you've got Lieutenant Governor Pam Yvette, you've got Alan Wilson, our acting Attorney General, you've got Nancy Mace's Congress down in the first congressional seat. We've got our own Ralph Norman.
In the 5th congressional seat,
yep.
and then now we got Rom Reddy.
Yep.
And Rom Reddy's put $6 million of his own money into this.
Yeah. Looking at the campaign expenditures, he's spent like 5.4. I think that was like 2 weeks ago when that report came out.
And
So
then
he
Rom
is-
and Ralph have been at each other.
he is churning out
Yeah.
the commercials and social media stuff, and I'll be honest, man, I could see an Alan Ralph runoff. I could see a Pam Allen runoff. I could see.
I could see a Nancy Pam runoff.
Yeah, I can see any of those 4 or 5 folks making that runoff.
I mean, out of all of them, who is the wild card?
I would say Nancy Mace.
See, I would think Rom.
I think Nancy.
I think Rom's got a chance to get in there because he shot up the polls so quick.
Right. Well, I mean, he is getting his name out there, but I just think Nancy Mace has been a very disciplined candidate, and typically, you don't see that from her, right? I mean, she is usually lobbing,
Yeah.
taking a flamethrower to social media, and just calling people out, and she's brash.
No
and,
one's going to tell her she doesn't fight.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, and again, whatever your takeaway from that approach is, it is what it is. But she has been very disciplined. Like she looks like she's the professional. You know what I mean?
I love that in the debate. And she's like, and they thought I was the crazy
Yeah. I mean, it was great. But because she has such a presence on social media, and that's an effective way to get your message out these days.
Yep.
She has one of the larger followings. And now I don't know if all those folks, I don't know what contingent of that sort of following is here in South Carolina, and that equates to a vote for her. But
Well, there's
just that
poll.
interesting component. That's what I'm saying the wild card is that I'm just curious to see how it all shakes out.
There
Tuesday
was
night.
one poll that came out. This was today, 21 hours ago. Interactive polls,
Okay.
and it's got Nancy Mace at 31%, Pam Yvette at 26%, Rom Reddy at 16%, Ralph Norman at 14%, and Alan Wilson at 13%.
Really?
That's just one of the polls
That's
that I've seen
interactive.
come out today.
Yeah, and there's so many, like the Trafalgar group, I think, put one out.
And they're the ones who are usually most trusted.
Yeah. And that had, I think, Pam around 24, 25%. Ralph and Alan somewhere around 20, and Reddy was right at like on their heels at 18 or 19.
Yeah.
And then Nancy Mace was around 15, I think. But anyway, so all this to say, folks, I don't know what to expect when it comes to the Republican side. What two are going to make it?
It's going to be up to who you vote for.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yes, folks. So get out and vote.
You need to make your voice heard.
Yep. And so now that's the Republican side. Let's flip and go to the Democrat side. We had our friend Jermaine Johnson on the show. We talked to him.
And I just put up a poll from the New York Times on this. So the Citadel, as it gives all these different ones. So the Citadel School of Humanities and Social Sciences have Johnson leading that race by 15 points
Wow.
above Webster.
Yeah. So Billy Webster, man, again, smart guy. I think he's from the Greenville area. Has a lot
Wealthy.
of money.
Yep.
But I just think he got in too late. I mean, he got in after Rom Reddy got in.
Did he?
Yeah.
I thought he was the one that announced his campaign from a Bojangles in Columbia.
That he owns. Did he own the
Maybe.
Bojangles? Anyway, so yeah, I think Jermaine. The funny thing is, I think Jermaine Johnson has the momentum
Yeah, he's a different type of candidate.
and lacks financial donors, whereas Billy's got the money, but I don't think he's got the name
He
recognition.
doesn't have the momentum.
So
The other poll is Conquest Group, and it's got Johnson plus 13.
wow.
And then it shows the Targaz Market Research. Well, that was last year.
Yeah.
That they were dead even. But the Targaz Market Research in February had Johnson plus 17 and Mullins McLeod at 8.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So-
So I mean, we'll see, folks. I mean, that is what we're going to get into in our next episode, sort of breaking down what the results of Tuesday's primary elections. It's going to be very, very interesting. And these governors, there's no finish line. You know what I mean? There is
Yeah.
going to be a runoff. I do not see, on the Republican side, I don't see any candidate, getting that 50 plus one.
And I think a lot of that's going to fall into, okay, so let's say it is a Allen and Ralph. Mm-hmm. Okay? Does Rom get behind Allen or Rom get behind Ralph?
In looking at the spats on social media and stuff, I can't see Rom Reddy supporting Ralph.
Well, we thought the same thing with Paul Dans, and then he's complaining about things, and the next thing you know, he's endorsing Mark Lynch,
yeah.
and then Marjorie Taylor Greene just came out and endorsed Lynch. I was like, well, that makes sense. They're both kind of idiots, but
Yeah. So
it's pretty bad.
So yeah, those are all good points. I have no idea. We're not political experts by any means.
And I don't want to bring up a betting site to see what it looks like because I don't want another ethics violation or
Yeah.
ethics accusation, should I
Thanks,
say.
man. Just two guys trying to have a good time. Yeah, we didn't even check Kalshi on this, but so yeah, I mean it's going to be a good week. I know voters will hopefully get out there and vote, but also I think they're going to be relieved, so they don't have
For
to
the mail pieces to stop.
yeah, and the text messages.
Yeah.
Like, and folks, go ahead and, I mean, you can send it in or whatever, but like, don't even ask me why texting, how people can text your phone with a political ad. How is that legal? I've already gotten those questions.
Well, how else are they going to get you
Yeah.
the message?
Yeah, I know.
So many people are just throwing away mail. That's the reason all the junk mail pretends to be something important, make it look like a check.
Right.
And you open it up,
Damn it, scammers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, folks, let's try to get above 10% voting in a primary, please. I mean, just
Got to.
get out there and vote.
I mean, we've got congressional races
Yep.
that we've got to get out and vote in. We've got, especially if you're in the first, you got, 10 people running
Yeah,
against?
10 or 11 folks running for the
first.
seat that Mace is vacating.
Yeah.
So,
And I endorse Mark Smith in that race.
Yeah.
Served with him, know the man.
yep. Really, really good
Nothing
guy.
against any of the other candidates. I don't know them that well, but
I
know Mark.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we know Mark from. I mean, Mark and I served on the medical subcommittee. He was my medical subcommittee chair when I was a freshman term. Great guy, solid leader. Also a business person. So he signs, the front of the checks. Mm-hmm. And so that type of experience, I always will relate with, and a lot of times that will really determine my vote. Folks who understand business, folks who understand the pressures of, making sure you're bringing in more than's going out, signing
that
payroll
are
checks,
used
and all
to
those
being
types of things.
responsible for other people.
Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, good luck to Mark. That's a good point. And lastly, man, this is on a lighthearted note. We were talking about this, in pre-production. I go to a place right here and get a massage, and we got to talking like, would you allow a guy to give you a massage? And you said
At the polls?
So if you go to a massage place I don't know. I don't know
No.
why, but I'm like, no, I don't want another.
I
dude.
used to be like that.
Yeah.
And whenever I was doing foreclosures, I was out of town one time, and a friend of mine was like, "Hey, my buddy just studied, Western medicine, and is gonna.
Yeah.
He's got all these techniques. He's a masseuse." And I was like, I don't know about that. I was like, my back's really messed up, but I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Comes over, great. It was more like a workout than it is a massage. Whereas,
wow.
you go to some of these massage places and it's just like relaxing. This is not relaxing one bit.
Yeah, it's because it's a dude. That's what I'm saying.
He moved to Rock Hill and opened up.
Oh, really?
And I have no problem going to see him. His name's Jedediah Keck. Like, he's one of the best masseuses, but he will sit there and take an elbow and make you squirm in a heartbeat.
I can't do it.
Like,
I don't know what it is.
but I can tell you, I've also had massages from, the little 5 feet women that look like maybe 100 pounds, and they'll hurt you
And
just
the
as
way
bad,
you're
too.
at. Yeah. Yep, exactly. So just curious if folks have the same, I don't know what it is. When I go to a massage, I want to relax and be comfortable and feeling man hands, and I can't do it, man.
Well, let me ask you this. If you cut hair one time, does that make you a barber?
No.
Then does getting a massage by a dude make you gay?
I'm not saying. I'm not. This has nothing to do with gay, not gay. It's more comfortable, like wanting to be comfortable. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, yeah. Don't bother me.
I mean, some folks wear T-shirts.
That's true. We do have a friend that doesn't like any skin-to-skin contact. So it's like T-shirt.
Yeah. When we heard that, I was like, "What, are you making wear gloves or something, man?" Like, what is that about? He's like, "No, I wear a T-shirt." I'm like, "That's new."
I think now I would not get a massage from a dude if I walked in and he popped one of them rubber gloves on before. You're like, no, I'm done.
Okay, folks, we're gonna cut this whole segment. This has gone
No,
into
it can't be cut.
This has gone into a ditch.
Look,
but
you brought it up. We were talking about elections and you
I
went to
know.
massages.
Well, sometimes like to have a little fun with the audience, but
this conversation started because before I came here, I was like, oh yeah, I had to go get a massage. Back's been killing me all week.
yeah. And the first thing I said was it a dude?
It wasn't, but still. I was like, what's wrong with a dude? If
Yeah,
it is.
yeah, that's right. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Anyway, thanks
Look,
for
I support male massages.
male masseuses.
No, massages.
All right. Thanks for watching this episode. Thanks you for supporting the show. Folks, please get out and vote. We're lighthearted here. We try to cut through some of the drama and the BS when it comes to state house politics. But please, do a little bit of research on your own. Go check out your ballot. You can go to SC Votes.
scvotes.org.
Yep, and check those out. Also, there's 2 important ballot questions. Again, folks, one is addressing closed primaries. The other one is addressing partisan school board elections.
Yes.
And so those are things that you need to consider. Those questions are confusing as hell to read. So just understand, question 1 is, do you want closed primaries? 2 is, do you want your school boards to be partisan elections or not? Again, do your own homework on them, on those issues, and make the best decision you can.
Just get out and vote. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And like, share. You know what? We need comments. Since we're going into the off season, give us some ideas. What are some topics that you would like to hear about if we're not working on something in committees or ad hoc committees?
Yeah, and even bill ideas, right? Like,
Yeah.
are there things that we could do better when we're providing state government, government services and things of that nature? Also, if you ever need help, and I just had a constituent reach out to me on this issue, that's what our jobs are for. So if you ever need help with like Medicaid issues or DOT or DMV even, or like maybe a veterans benefit issue, even though that's TRICARE and it's federal, a lot of times we have some connections that we can make phone calls on your behalf and help you out. That is our job. So don't hesitate, reach out to the show. And even if you're not our constituent, we can point you to who your local rep or who your local senator is.
Or possibly be able to handle it for you if it's something that we can take care of.
That's our job. So look forward to having those further conversations. Look forward to this Tuesday's elections and those results. We'll talk about those decisions that are made by you after Tuesday's election. So again, thanks for Comer Distributing.
Yes.
For supporting the show and providing the Carolina Blonde Ale by Foothills Brewing. Great beer.
It was good, nice and light.
Yep.
And like, follow us, subscribe, pintsandpolitics.show.
Dropping knowledge bombs. Hop in the phone, turn debates to songs. They talking